everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Transformers Energon, issue number 9. Now, as you know, Transformers Energon was Dreamwave's own adaptation of the second part of the Unicorn trilogy that was meant to have the other issues, but because of apparently and the team's spending habit, left the Energon series on a cliffhanger, and we wouldn't really know what the events of Transformers Cybertron would have been like. So I managed to get issue 27 off eBay, and keep in mind the last few issues built up to issue 30, which never got around. And like I said, I have been going with the numbering for the Energon series in a sort of different style. And the cover has Optimus Prime being grabbed by wiring, calling out for help. And the story starts off with Alpha Quintesson dubbing the newly reconstructed tidal wave as Mirage. Now, keep in mind that in the Energon series, Demolisher, Cyclonus, and Mirage and tidal wave were reformed in new bodies, which I never understood, because if Hotshot and some of the others got new paint jobs and a new form, why didn't they did? So we see Mirage saying, "Sure, but what's the deal with Scorponok? Technically, he's yours. I mean, Unicron's to command too, right? Him and the other Terracons." And points out that Scorponok and him had a falling out and wants to kind of return the favour. But he points out that Sharkticon and Slugslinger, who distrust Sharkticon, are going to be signed with him and send them out to their mission. And we see how Mirage gets his first field test, taking down the Omicons, and of course they're also after one important piece, Kicker. So of course we see him saying, "Nah, we got something a lot planned, but hey, is it going to be slow, and painful?" And of course, we kind of see how they manage to keep them distracted enough to get Kicker out from the ocean. And we see how Optimus sees that the Terracons are attacking random cities, even though there's no Energon. And Megatron's saying, "Think of it, Optimus Prime, as a short, sharp lesson, a warning to the humans." And points out that they can stop the Terracons if Optimus helps him sort of get his spark into one of his sort of drone-like bodies. And Optimus says, I can't. It's just be unleashing another possibly greater threat on the universe." Well then, sit back and enjoy the show. And we see how Red sees to his shock and anger that Alexis might be dead, and feels partly responsible. And of course, we see how she turns up alive, manages to get out, gives her a hug, which they quickly brush off. And of course, we see how Jetfire is let known by Averon that his reinforcements will happen, and we see how he's going to be leading the assault on the Terracons from the planet. And we see Prowl saying, "Jetfire, excuse the interruption, Chancellor, but we have a crisis before." "What is it, Prowl?" "Deport from Hotshot." And of course, they point out that the attack on Earth has begun, and we see Jetfire getting ready. And of course, we see Optimus journeying into Unicron, hopefully not to be detected. And of course, gets thrown into the sort of acid in that, saying, "Ugh, what is this stuff? Ugh. This is beyond gross, but at least I'm still on course." And journeys on forward with spider-like robots. And of course, we see Jetfire getting his team ready, with teams like Landmine, Hull, also Red Alert, also Bulkhead and that, and they all journey in to go against the threats. not before getting help from the Minicon teams, which they transform to their sort of bigger form. And we see Jetfire getting the team ready to take on the Terracons. And of course, we see Optimus journeying forward, trying to take down Unicron, and as well as trying to get rid of Megatron Spark. But of course, something happens with the wiring grabbing on him, and of course, torturing him. We'll later see at Avron's sort of office, he's talking with an unknown voice, but of course, it turns out it's Alpha Quintesson working together. And this is the story. So, my personal thoughts on issue 9 is an okay start. Like I said, I think before Dreamwave bankruptcy, you could tell Aaron Furman was really trying to build up this big epic story, and because of ending things after 30 issues, you can tell he was stuck with what he was stuck with. And I know there were other planned stories that he mentioned, as well as the Dreamwave version of Beast Wars. So I think this story still deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.